evening as we're set to kick off another Saturday night of short track racing action, the Big A, and we are under green. They're bouncing off of each other as they come down to take the green flag from the outside of row number one. There goes Travis Bruno with a 33 to lead. 3 wide down the backstretch, racing for second. It's McGinley on the inside. Running in the middle is Keith Pelkey. On the outside, the 3 of Danny Sullivan. He had to get on the binders, and that's going to cost him a couple of spots, perhaps more, as Dave Raptoy looks to move through on the inside with the 21. Out front, it's Travis Bruno in the 33, then Keith Pelkey in car 24 running in the second spot. Brian McGinley is sideways off the second turn in the 35, falling back into the clutches of the 3 of Sullivan and the 21 of Dave Raptoy. Out front, it is Travis Bruno. The lead is 2 car lengths. In that second spot, it's Pelkey in the 24, then McGinley in car number 35. Side-by-side racing from there on back. The 57 perhaps getting a piece of the 3. That put him squirrely in 1 and 2. He's going to get on the brakes, and he's going to lose a whole bunch of spots. Stoner in the 57 also lost a couple of positions. Tyler Terry has moved into the top 5 with a 44, and Jamie Begor is also on the move with car 19. He's into the 6th spot. Travis Bruno leads out front. The second spot goes to Keith Pelkey in the 24. Brian McGinley is third with a 35. There goes Terry to the outside with car 44. As Dave Raptoy in the 21 is trying to hang on to 4th, but it's not going to work as the 44 has the outside. And here he comes along the front stretch to the stripe to take that 4th spot. Jamie Begor thinks about looking outside the Raptoy number 21 into 1 and 2. Now looks back down to the inside, puts his nose underneath the 21, and here comes Begor in car number 19 looking for that 5th position. Begor goes to the top 5 as Raptoy will slide back to the 6th spot. This time by it's halfway. First qualifier of the night, that's Travis Bruno showing the way with car number 33. Keith Pelkey is close to about a car length. We've got a spin along the front stretch. Bruno in the 33, Pelkey in the 24 will set the pace. It's a slow one into 4. Now here they come off of 4 down the front stretch. Green flag. Well, cat and mouse game in the front row between Bruno and Pelkey as they were coming off the 4th turn, and they're even off of turn 2. Tyler Terry's made a move to the 3rd spot on the outside. Terry works his way around the 35 of McGinley. Here comes Dave Raptoy in the 21. We've got synchronized spinning towards the back of the pack. The 57 of Howard Stoner. Field over in turn number 3. This time Bruno's on the hammer a lot faster. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Green flag. At previous restart, it was a slow pace that was set by Bruno on the point. Pelkey is able to hang with him, though. Here he comes again on the outside, and they're even off of turn number 2. They run side by side down the backstretch going to the 3rd turn. Pelkey sticks his nose out in front for the lead. They race into turn number 4, almost even. Pelkey drifts up towards the wall. A drag race down to the stripe, and at the stripe it looked like Pelkey by inches had the lead on the outside. Travis Bruno hanging right with him on the inside. Pelkey on the outside. It's Bruno now with the lead off turn number 2. Here comes Tyler Terry. It's a 3-car battle for the lead out front. Bruno the 33, Pelkey the 24, Terry in the 44. Then it's McGinley in car number 35. And running in the 5th spot, Jamie Begor. He's still in the mix as well. Travis Bruno opening it up. It's now a car length and a half. Make it 2 off turn number 2. Keith Pelkey in the 24 sliding back a little bit. He's got his hands full still with Tyler Terry on the inside. Here comes Jamie Begor bidding for the 4th spot. Car number 19 goes to 4th as McGinley slipped up in turn number 4, pushing up the racetrack. 2 laps to go out front for Travis Bruno. Bruno's lead is growing as the battle continues behind him for the 2nd position. Tyler Terry on the inside. His car has not been able to really come to life the way it was running on the outside of the racetrack, and that's true for a lot of the cars in this division that seem to run better on the outside of the racing surface. 1 lap to go for Travis Bruno. Bruno in the 33, leading by 3 car lengths. Pelkey drifts up the track over in turn number 2. Jamie Begor's working the inside of that car number 19. He's got a nose underneath the 44 of Terry, looking for the 3rd spot. Here comes Travis Bruno off of turn number 4. The checkered flag is out. Bruno's going to win it. 2nd is Pelkey. 3rd is Terry hanging on to that 3rd spot. 4th goes to Jamie. The Perkins Trucking and Excavating 69 from Clintonville, New York. It's Billy Twaits. 10 cars ready to run. Qualifier number 2 is under green. Bucko Branham takes the lead off turn number 2. Branham's had a couple of poor finishes, which is very unlike Bucko Branham and that team in the first couple of weeks of the season, and that's why with his handicap, he's starting on point in this 2nd qualifier. This car number 20 has won 2 J&S Steel Sportsman Track Championships at the Airborne Speedway, but not off to a real good start in 2011. That's the bad news. The good news is there's a whole lot of racing season left for Bucko to make up points and get right back into the thick of things, and you know full well before this season's done, he certainly will be right in the mix. He's got a big lead out front, almost half the front stretch. with the 86 of Mike Shagnon running in the second spot. The battle for third between Sean Duquette on the inside and young Brandon Atkins in car number 4. We got a spin over in turn number 2. The 68 of Jamie Atkins, the 59 of Stephen Brissett. They get together in 2 laps showing complete on our way to 10 in the second qualifier. 2 cars have gone back to the garage area. The 59 for Brissett and also the 59 for Billy Twaits. Bucko Branham leading over in turn number 2. Sean Duquette moving on the inside. He's going to go to the second spot. Mike Shagnon falls back to third and maybe fourth. Here comes Nick Haywood after him on the inside. Look at Robin Wood moving at car number 61 as they're 3 wide off of turn number 4. Brandon Atkins had to get on the binders. Now the Northline Utility Team cars running at the back of the pack. It's Bucko Branham out front. Sean Duquette a car length and a half off of his back bumper. Nick Haywood runs third, and on the charge is Robin Wood in car 61, the defending track champion, a 2-time winner already this season. Lagani Bingo, Renterek 61 running in the 4th spot. Back to 5th, Mike Shagnon. Contact off of turn number 4 with Cody Benoit. Benoit tries to move through. Then the 86 clips Atkins. Atkins goes flying off the top of turn number 1. Shagnon follows him off the top of the racetrack, and we've got him. It's Nick Haywood in the 29, Robin Wood in the 61. Jamie Atkins in the 68. Here they come. Green flag. Well, it's a great jump for Duquette on the outside of row number 1. As he pulls away from the 20, but it's not going to stand. Yellow flag comes back out. As Duquette on the outside of row number 1. Branham in the 20. Duquette in the 18. Even off of turn number 4. Down the front stretch. Green flag. They touch just before the front stretch. Now they race into turn number 1. Branham, Duquette, Haywood's right behind him. They're all hooked together, it seems, over in turn number 2, running tight down the backstretch into the 3rd turn. Branham on the inside. Outside is Duquette. Then it's Haywood in the 29. Wood in the 61. Throw a blanket on the top 4 halfway. Sean Duquette almost even with him at the stripe. Bucko drifts up a little bit over in turn number 2. Here comes Nick Haywood on the inside. Haywood takes the Budweiser 29 through on the inside, shooting for the lead. Duquette on the outside with a little bobble. Haywood's going to take the lead into turn number 4. Down the front stretch, Nick Haywood's the leader in the 29. Bucko Branham has the 2nd spot. Robin Wood running right off the back bumper to the 29 of Haywood. Here comes Wood, pinned down to the inside. Wood's got room. Here comes Robin Wood, trying to go from 3rd to 1st. Bucko Branham on the outside, trying to take 1st back up on the rim. 3 wide for the lead. It's Wood on the inside. Haywood working the meat and the sandwich. On the outside, it's Branham in the 20, and Branham's got the lead at the stripe. Bucko Branham leads that one from the outside. Here comes Robin Wood back after him on the inside. They race off turn number 2. Wood sticks the nose out in front. Down the backstretch into turn number 3. Branham comes back after him. It's Wood still leading on the outside. Let's see if Branham can get that banking on the top of the track to kick in for him along the front stretch down to the stripe, almost dead even. Might have been Wood by an inch. Robin Wood and Bucko Branham running side by side. Branham goes to the top off turn number 2. That might cost him a little bit. Robin Wood starts to pull away going into 3. Here comes Branham back after him on the outside. Nick Haywood runs right off the back bumper of the 2 leaders as they race off 4 down to the start-finish line. The white flag is on the field. Robin Wood leading the way. Bucko Branham right with him on the outside. Half a lap remaining in this second qualifier. Robin Wood trying to hang on for the victory. Bucko Branham, does he have one more move in him? Branham goes to the top of the track. Drag race for the win. Down to the stripe. Checkered flag for Robin Wood in this first qualifier. Here they come off of turn number 4. Down to the stripe. Green flag. Eric Rudolph shows the way in the 98. Following him to that second spot, it's Mike Leedy in the 25. Here comes his father, Jan, in car number 6. Jan Leedy goes to the 3rd spot. Here they come off of turn number 4. Leader of lap number 1, it's going to be Eric Rudolph in the 98.
Good battle for that number 4 spot. Riom cut on the outside, is going by on the inside, is the Hausfeld 22. He takes the 4th spot and will look to move up on the 6 of Leedy. Eric Rudolph, the Ransomville, New York driver, leads the field off turn 4. He will lead lap number 2.
Rudolph shows the way, and he seems to be opening things up. Mike Leedy in the 25, running in the 2nd position. His dad, Jan, runs 3rd. Then it's Hausfeld, who won last week at the Oswego Speedway, running in the 4th position. 5th right now is Doug Riom in car number 14. As they freight train around the racetrack, we got perhaps a challenge for 3rd, with Hausfeld looking to the inside of Jan, leading into turn number 1. Here comes Hausfeld in the 22. He's got position as they run wheel to wheel off the 2nd turn. Hausfeld from the inside, trying to grab that 3rd spot away from Jan Leedy. He will going to turn number 4 as he drifts up in front of Leedy. He gets on the binders, and Hausfeld finishes the pass.
Up front, it continues to be Eric Rudolph pulling away in the 98 car. He maintains that 7 or 8 car length advantage over the 25 of Mike Leedy.
Rudolph with a sizable advantage out front. They're halfway in this first qualifier for the Race of Champions Asphalt Modified Tour. Mike Leedy running in the second spot, feeling no heat. Then it's a big gap back to the 22 of Hausfeld. Hausfeld clearing Jan Leedy now by 4 car lengths. And then Riom running in the 14, sitting in the 5th spot. And then it's a good gap back to Chris Ridsdale in the number 1.
The 34 of Greg Frunche has pulled his car to the infield. He is out of this first qualifier for the Asphalt Modifieds.
Eric Rudolph has not been pressured really since the drop of the green flag. He started on point, and he has maintained a comfortable margin out front. Mike Leedy with the number 25, certainly a very well-known name in the modified ranks out in the greater Rochester area. The Leedys have been racing very successfully for a number of years, and now 2 laps to go for Eric Rudolph.
Top 4 cars in each of the 3 qualifiers will do a redraw for the top 12 starting spots for the 100-lap main event. But there is no doubt about your leader and a driver who has maintained that 7 or 8 car length advantage. That's the 98 car of Eric Rudolph.
Rudolph, the youngster from Ransomville, New York, with a white flag on the field, is going to win this one going away. Started out front. He will lead every lap. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Checkered flag for Ransomville, New York's Eric Rudolph. Second goes to Mike Leedy. Third, it's going to be Chuck Hausfeld. Fourth goes to Jan Leedy. Fifth will be Doug Riom in car number 14, and finishing in the 6th
car, although he will not make the call.
Green flag is out on the second qualifier. And out front, it is Earl Pauls, the Palmerton, Pennsylvania driver, showing the way, running in the second spot. Rusty Smith with the 34. Jimmy Zacharias in the 07, drifting up the track into turn number 4, almost drifting up into him, is close in the 69. He takes the TJ Toyota number 69 into that 3rd spot. Zacharias in the 07 runs in 4th. Zacharias had a good night at the Chemung Speedway last night, actually winning down there as he's running in the 4th spot on the outside with the 07. That's the 27 of Andy Walco running in the 5th spot. Walco looks to the inside of Zacharias. And right now, Zacharias is able to maintain that 4th position. Out front, it is Earl Pauls in the number 8. Pauls from Palmerton, Pennsylvania, leading by almost half the front stretch. It's Rusty Smith from Oxford, New York, running in the 2nd spot. Third is Close in the 69. He's from Potsdam, running in 3rd.
4th spot, Zacharias in the 07, the Candor, New York driver. Running in the 5th spot, it's the Walco 27. He's from Flemington, New Jersey. And the driver with the best view, that's the Mechanical New York driver, Ken Canestrari, in that 17 car. Up front, it is a runaway. Palmerton's Earl Pauls, in the number 08. Halfway, got a big lead.
His lead continues to be almost half the front stretch, and then the gap between cars running 2nd through 5th, just about equidistant, 3 to 5 car lengths. The Zacharias with about a 6 car length advantage now on Walco's number 27. At one point, Walco was pressuring Zacharias for that 4th spot, but that battle is no longer on. And here comes Close in the 69, looking at the 34, trying to close on Rusty Smith and perhaps make a move for that 2nd position. Smith in the 34 works a middle line around the racetrack. Close trying to find a line that he can use to either move to the inside or perhaps work the top of the track to get to that 2nd spot. But right now he's content to freight train around the racetrack and run right behind the back of Smith in that 3rd position. Out front, it continues to be Earl Pauls.
Those top 4 cars will be involved in the redraw for starting position for the 100-lap main event. 2 to go this time by as they get the signal from Chief Starter Butch Hendry. Earl Pauls continues to lead the way. The battle is for that 2nd spot, but they've run 2, 3, and 4 just as they are right now since the drop of the green flag. 1 to go.
White flag on the field. Earl Pauls is going to win this one going away. Another convincing win at 2nd spot. Being held on to by Rusty Smith. Unless Close has a move to make in the final set of turns, it's going to be Smith getting the 2nd position. Here they come. Checkered flag is out. Pauls wins it. Smith 2nd. Close finishes in the 3rd spot. Then it's Zacharias finishing in 4th. 5th goes to Andrew Walco in the 27. Machine set to run in the 3rd qualifier for the Race of Champions Asphalt Modified Tour. All right, here they come. They get together over in turn number 4. Green flag is out. Conover pushed up the track and got a piece of Emmerling over in turn number 4 as they race down to take the green flag. And now problems, it looks like, perhaps for the 5 of Ebersol. He's off the pace. Now we're going to bring out the yellow flag. We're going to do it again. Didn't like that start coming off of turn number 4, Rick. And got a piece of Emmerling on the outside of
This is from the 4 cylinders to show.
All right, well, I think we're finally ready to get racing again. It's qualifier number 3 for the Race of Champions Asphalt Modified Tour. 5 cars, green flag. Again, it's the 26 of Scott Conover. On the outside, it is the 2 of Patrick Emmerling. And here comes the 3 for Scherer. There goes Conover sliding off the top of 3. He loops it around. That's going to bring out a yellow flag. It looked like he went into turn 3 a little hot, Rick, and then Spencer Speedway in Williamson, New York, outside of Rochester. I believe he was running in the modified division as we got a challenge for the lead out front. Here comes Ebersol in car number 5, moving through off of turn number 4, and he'll take the lead away from Patrick Emmerling. So give the lead to Ebersol now in car number 5. Emmerling in the 2, hanging on to the 2nd spot. Here comes Bill Hibbing coming back after him for the 4th position as he'll take that away from Conover as they slice and dice back and forth for position in the field. Out front it is the 5 of Ebersol, running wheel to wheel for the 2nd spot. Emmerling in the 2 right now has that spot, but here comes Scherer in the 3 coming through on the inside. Got to spin at the back. It's Conover again, having trouble over in turns 3 and 4, and that is going to bring out a quick yellow flag, and we'll slow the pace again in this 3rd qualifier.
Nearly an incident at the back of the pack as the top 4 will qualify for the redraw.
All right, single file restart, 5 laps complete. Again, it's a slow pace into 4. Now on the hammer, green flag. Kyle Ebersol in the 5. Darren Scherer in the 3, running in that 2nd position. Scherer running in that 2nd spot, looking to perhaps make a move for the top position, but right now it's Ebersol leading by a car length. The top 2 cars pulling away from Emmerling. Emmerling runs in 3rd, and it's Hibbing running in the 4th position with the 1, and then Conover 5th with the 26. That's about a car length separating the top 2 runners. Kyle Ebersol showing the way with the 5. Pennsylvania driver with a half car length lead at the stripe.
Ebersol and Scherer continue to battle for that top spot, and the battle continues on for the number 3 spot. 2 to go this time by Kyle Ebersol in the 5, Darren Scherer in the 3. That's your battle for the number 1 spot. On the inside, it's the 1 car of Hibbing holding on to that 3rd spot.
Bill Hibbing was able to take a position away from Patrick Emmerling in the 2, so Hibbing goes to 3rd as the white flag is out for Kyle Ebersol. Ebersol leading by 2, now make it 3 car lengths off the 2nd turn. It's going to be Kyle Ebersol into turns 3 and 4. Final set of turns to negotiate. Here he comes down the front stretch. Checkered flag is out. Kyle Ebersol with a win. 2nd goes to the 3 of Darren Scherer. Finishing 3rd will be Bill Hibbing. Here from Queensbury, New York, it's Colleen Salisbury. That's the field, 11 strong. Green flag. Cam Grady in the 27 has the lead. The 97 of Vernold runs in the 2nd spot. Patrice McGrail running in 3rd. Keep an eye on the 34 of Foley, the 78 of Vince Quinville. They box it up over at turn number 3. Jason Bruno had to get on the binders as Foley in the 34 drifted up the lane, and that forced Quinville in the 78 to get on the binders. Out front, it's the 27 of Cam Grady. Vernold in the 97 is running in the 2nd spot. McGrail runs 3rd. The Budweiser-sponsored number 10. Running in the 4th spot, it's Craig Riel with the CO2. Craig drifting back a little bit. Seemed to box things up with Foley running right behind him with a 34. Foley goes to the top of the racetrack, trying to power his way around the outside. Jimmy Ryan in the 60. The 34 of Foley trying to get to the outside of Craig Riel's CO2. Right behind him, it is Ryan in the 60, and Vince Quinville's going to dive down to the inside with the 78, picking that left front tire right up off the racing surface off of turn number 4. Vince Quinville in the 78, running now in the 7th spot. Out front, it is still Cam Grady with a 27. Then it is the 97 of Vernold running in the 2nd spot. Sitting 3rd is Patrice McGrail in car 10. Craig Riel in the CO2 running in the 4th spot. And it's the 34 of George Foley. Here comes Foley going for 4th. Foley to the inside of the CO2. He'll take that 4th spot away. Craig Riel goes back to 5th with the CO2. Then it's the 60 for Jim Ryan running in the 6th position. Halfway in qualifier number 1 for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. Cam Grady is checking out. Cam was fast earlier this afternoon in practice, and he has backed it up in qualifier number 1. Starting on point, he's led every lap, and he is as a lead right now, almost half the front stretch. Second is Chris Vernold. 2 weeks back, Vernold with that alternative systems number 97 did not even qualify for the 30-lap feature event. He's well on his way to qualifying tonight, as he'll pick up handicap and start near the front of the feature event field, as will Cam Grady with this 27. Grady setting a very fast pace out front. Vernold still running in second. McGrail is still third. Foley is fourth. Craig Rio running in the 5th spot. 6 is Vince Quinville in the 78. And it's Jimmy Ryan running in position number 7. Andy Powell runs in the 8th spot with a 3. 9th is Jason Bruno with a 66. And running in 10th is Jim McComb with a 5. Then it's Colleen Salisbury at the back of the pack with a 13. Less than 2 laps remain now for Cam Grady. It's a full half backstretch lead for Grady in the 27. Here he comes off of turn number 4. White flag is out for Cam Grady. Grady out of Wilmington, New York, just outside of Lake Placid. Driving the AK Auto TS Carpet and Tile 27, home to a victory in the first qualifier. One more turn to finish. Here he comes off of turn number 4. Dominating performance for Cam Grady in the 27 as he gets it done. Second to Vernold, the 97. McGrail finishes third. And George Foley fourth. 5th goes to Craig Riel in the CO2. 6th to Vince Quinville. 7th to Jimmy Ryan. 8th to Andy Powell. 9th to Jason Bruno. And 10th to Jim McComb in car number 5. From Sheldon, Vermont, the TDI Repair Facility X for Adam Bartamy. 10 strong. Green flag. They box it up, coming to take the green flag. Todd Ormsby, Chris Kaye, they got together. Kaye drifting up the track now wrestles that machine as they really clobbered each other along the front stretch coming for the green flag. Kaye in the 18 seems to be okay. The 0-1, oh, look out, there goes Ormsby in the 0. He goes around between turns 3 and 4. Hayes the 0-1, Vienne the 25. Here they come off turn number 4 on the hammer and out of the green flag. Terry Hayes drifting up a little bit into turn number 2. That pushes the 25 of Vienne way up the racetrack. Chris Kaye trying to move through on the inside. He'll go to second, taking with him Mike Riel in the 0-2. Max M. Vienne got a piece of one of those tires. He's bouncing around, and he's broken on the front. Max Vienne breaking the left front, got a piece of one of the big white tires on the inside of the turn. And that's going to bring out another. It's a complete restart again. This is our 3rd attempt to get a lap in this second qualifier for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. Green flag. Chris Kaye from the outside of row number 1, taking the lead off the second turn. The 0-1 of Terry Hayes running in second. Bryant Trim is on the move with the 28. Of course, no team has made more radical changes to their dirt car legal 358 than that number 28 and Bryant Trim. Sitting in the 3rd position, Trim looking to take second away from the 0-1 of Terry Hayes. Chris Kaye's checking out front. Terry Hayes in the 0-1 running a middle line around the racetrack. Trim trying to tiptoe through on the inside, but right now can't find a room as Hayes is there. Terry Hayes hanging on to second, using up that right rear tire, really smoking it up. Trim running in the 3rd spot. Mike Riel sits 4th in the 0-2, picking his left front tire right up off the racing surface, and now there is room for Bryant Trim to the inside. Here comes Bryant Trim out of Morrisonville, New York, trying to grab that 2nd spot. He will. Back to 3rd, it goes the 0-1 of Terry Hayes. He's from Warrensburg. Sitting in the 4th position, it's the 0-2 for Mike Riel. Riel trying to get to 3rd. They run wheel to wheel for position number 5 right behind Mike Riel. The 11, the Brandon Bandit, Don Scarborough. And running wheel to wheel with him is the 1 New York of Greg Atkins. Atkins is the 2nd place point man. Hayes continues to work that middle line, making that race car pretty wide around the Airborne half mile. Atkins works around the outside of the 0-1. Hayes fading back down to the 6th spot. Halfway for Chris Kaye. Chris Kaye with a big lead out front. Bryant Trim in the 28 runs in the 2nd spot. Mike Riel running in 3rd. 4th, Greg Atkins. 5th is the 11 of Don Scarborough. Running in the 6th spot, the 0-1 for Terry Hayes. Todd Ormsby in the 0 coming after him, working on the outside. Then it's the X for Adam Bartamy. And then it's the 46 for Martin Hébert. Todd Ormsby with problems over in turn number 4, lost a couple of spots, and he goes to the back of the pack. We saw a dominating performance in the first qualifier for Cam Grady in the 27. Chris Kaye is on to a similar performance right now. Kaye's lead, half the backstretch. Bryant Trim in the 28. That team really struggled opening week. They ran extremely well in week number 2. Matter of fact, Bryant finished 4th back on May 21st. He's running well again in that 2nd spot with car number 28. Racing veteran Mike Riel running in the 3rd position with a 0-2. Mike is 14th through 2 events in the point standings in this division. And then second place point man Greg Atkins in car number 1 running in 4th. The white flag's on the field for Chris Kaye. Kaye driving the Bushies Auto, Dragoons Farm Equipment, Bigor Supply, L&M Sunoco, number 18. Moves it through turn number 3. Throws it down through the middle of turn number 4, and here he comes to the checkered flag. The win goes to Chris Kaye. Second to Brian Trim. Third, Mike Riel. Fourth, Greg Atkins. Fifth goes to Don Scarborough. Sixth to Adam Bartamy. Seventh is Roger Lebreche in car number 100. That's the field. 10 strong. Green flag. Mike Wells from the outside of the front row trying to get Bite on the top of the racetrack to go for the lead. The Sutton Quebec driver Dan Brown has the lead. Here comes Pierre Bertillon at a 1. Bertillon out of Joliet, Quebec, trying to move towards the front. Dan Brown's going to lead the first lap, though. Bertillon right off the back bumper. One car that is moving is Martin Roy in the number 90. Ramash Truck Center machine thinking about threading the needle, but backed out of it as that needle closed up pretty quick. Matt Woodruff with a double nickel on the 76 of Mike Wells. But Martin Roy working the outside, trying to find running room, but he's snookered right now as the 80 of Andy Haywood and the 76 of Mike Wells blocked the track in front, and now that inside line comes to life, and that's going to allow Haywood to move to the inside, and Patrick Dupree will move back in front of the 90 of Martin Roy. Here comes Dupree in the 24. He's going to go to the 5th spot. Out front, it is Dan Brown, the Sutton Quebec driver, with a Hooters-sponsored machine leading by a car length. Pierre Bertillon in a 1 runs second, then a good gap back to the battle for third, as Andy Haywood tried to make a move on the 55 of Matt Woodruff. Woodruff holding on to that 3rd spot, but Andy Haywood is just a car length off of his back bumper and peaked to the inside of that double nickel in turn number 4. Now he's going to peak again over in turn number 2. The battle for third. Haywood sticking the nose to the inside, but again backed out of it over in turn number 3. That door got slammed shut by the double nickel of Woodruff. Halfway in the 3rd qualifier for the Ernie's Discount Tools Modifieds. And out front, it's the 327 of Brown. The lead is still a car length. The battle for third still on. Andy Haywood again looking to the inside in turn number 3 and still able to hold him off. It's car number 55 and Matt Woodruff. Woodruff is 3rd. Haywood is 4th. Good racing battle for 5th as well. Right behind them, it's Patrick Dupree in the 24 and then Martin Roy in the Gamache Truck Center number 90. Roy's going to go to the outside of the 24. And the 24 drifts up right in front of him with a good run off of turn number 4 to hold on to that 5th spot. Dan Brown comfortably leading out front. As a matter of fact, opening it up on Pierre Bertillon with a 1. And now Andy Haywood again peeking to the inside of Woodruff going into turn number 3. But Andy is not able to maintain the head of steam that he had built up down the backstretch into the middle of the turn. And he has to back out of it, and that's where Matt Woodruff picks it right back up again and maintains that 3rd spot. Dan Brown leading by a lot. Then it's Bertillon in the 1 running in that 2nd spot. Andy Haywood has tried several times to make a move to the inside, but has not been able to get past the 55. Bertillon's got a tire going down. That right rear is almost flat. Bertillon's right rear tire is flat. Can he hang on and salvage a top 5 finish? I don't know. They're screaming around him. Here comes Haywood for second on the inside. The right rear is flat on the 1. Dan Brown's going to win it. Here they come off of turn number 4. Haywood finishes second. Bertillon gets a piece of the wall, then spins it over in turn number 1. Jason is the 11 of Lance Raptoy. Then it's the 17 for James Sayward. And at the back of the pack, it is car number 51 for Freeman Sawyer and the 2 for Metal Man. That's the field. 11 cars taking the green flag in this first qualifier for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division, and Joe Warren's got the lead. Rick Donor started on point, but he's fallen back to the 3rd spot as Kevin Booten looks to move through on the inside at car number 25. He goes to 2nd, Donor back in 3rd. The leader is Joe Warren in car 13. Second is Kevin Booten in the 25. Then it's Donor in the 86. The 357 for Curtis Seymour running in the 4th spot. Lance Raptoy in car 11 runs 5th. Battle for the 6th spot between Dave Drake and the 70 of Jason McClatchy. Out front, it's Joe Warren in car 13, and he's got a rear view mirror full of car number 25, Kevin Booten. Booten almost draws right up to the back bumper of that Freihofer sponsor number 13 as they race off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch into the 3rd turn. Booten runs right on that back bumper almost off the 4th turn. Joe Warren still has the lead at the stripe. Booten staying in line around the racetrack. Donor running in the 3rd position with the 86. Here comes Lance Raptoy picking up a spot. He'll move the Culligan-sponsored 11 down to the inside of the 357 of Curtis Seymour. As Lance Raptoy goes to 4th, Seymour back to 5th. 6th is Jason McClatchy as he was able to pick up that spot on Dave Drake in the number 3. halfway in the first qualifier for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. Kevin Booten peeking to the inside of Joe Warren's 13. Joe got a good run, working the middle and top of turn number 2, and he was able to pull away and maintain that lead down the backstretch. But Booten is back after him, looking to the inside into turns 3 and 4. Again, Joe will go to the top of the track and hang on to lead the stripe. But Kevin Booten is right with him on the inside. Good racing in the Renegade Division, and certainly typical for this division. A real division of parity. We see a lot of side-by-side racing, and oftentimes in this division, we'll see wild finishes as they'll run side by side. The first 2 races of the season, we saw side by side racing for the win right down to the stripe, just like you're seeing right now in this qualifier. Kevin Booten in car number 25, trying to take the lead away from Joe Warren. It was still Warren at the stripe last time by, but Booten's got a pretty good head of steam built up going into turn number 3, where they are dead even. Here they come into turn number 4, down the front stretch. Booten from the inside down to the stripe, and he's got the lead of the white flag out. Second place point man Kevin Booten had the lead at the stripe. Can he maintain it? Joe Warren on the top of the track tries to get bite down the backstretch. Booten still with the lead. Into turn number 3, Joe Warren comes back after him on the outside. Car off the racing surface up top. It's a race for the win. Down to the stripe. Checkered flag is out, and it's too close to call. We're going to have to go to the scores. It looks like it might have been the 13 of Joe Warren. It's Kevin Booten in the 25, according to scoring, crosses the start-finish line. And the final row, it is the 10 for Josh Allen, and shotgun on the field is 0-2 for Jimmy Collins. Green flag is out. Qualifier number 2 for the Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division. 12 cars taking the green flag in this one, so 23 Versatile Trailer Sales Renegade Division automobiles signing into the Airborne garage tonight. Bob Dragoon is fighting an evil machine right now with that 36, as he was sliding backwards, and they're running side by side right behind him. A machine that's not evil is the one that's out front. Rob Favreau's number 22. His lead is about 5 car lengths, but they're running 3, almost 4 wide for the 6th spot. Josh Terry in car number 43, Bob Dragoon in the middle. Look at Josh Allen threading the needle in car number 10. First week out for Josh Allen with that number 10 machine, as he's making his way towards the front. Rob Favreau leading. Don Franklin in the 69 running in the 2nd spot. That's Lonnie Rivers in car number 7 running in 3rd. That's car 57 for Billy Joyle sliding back, as here comes Dan Dubuque after him on the inside, and Josh Terry looks to the outside of Joyle. Dan Dubuque moving into the 4th position. Robert Gordon, who has won both events in the Renegade Division, running in the 5th spot, setting his sights on the 61 of Dubuque, and he's going to fly on through to the inside at turn number 3. Out front, the leader is still Rob Favreau, and it's a comfortable lead over Don Franklin. Franklin not being pressured at all by Lonnie Rivers, who runs 3rd. Robert Gordon has moved to the 4th spot with the H2O. 5th is Dan Dubuque with the number 61. Running in 6th is Josh Terry with car 43. And running in the 7th spot is Billy Joyle. There goes Josh Terry into the bunker off the top of the backstretch, and now spinning over the top of turn number 3, kicking up a sandstorm off the top of the racetrack. And that's going to bring... All right, ready to run again in qualifier number 2 for the Renegades. Rob Favreau, Don Franklin. It's the green flag. Don Franklin with a good start on the outside of row number 1. Let's see if he can hang with Rob Favreau. Not only is he hanging, he's taking the lead away off turn number 2. Franklin's got the nose of his machine out front. Rob Favreau comes back after him on the inside. He'll take the lead back in 3. On the inside, it's Favreau in the 22. Franklin the 69 on the outside. They'll race down to the stripe. Here they go again, side-by-side racing in the Renegade Division. Favreau the 22, Franklin the 69. Off of turn number 2, Favreau's got the lead again. They race into turn number 3. Let's see if Franklin can make that outside line work for him. Off of turn number 4, down to the stripe, and it's the 69 in the lead. Don Franklin gets it back on the outside. Favreau in the 22, Franklin in the 69. Franklin goes right to the top of the track over in 2. Favreau's got the lead again in the middle of the backstretch, now going to 3 and 4. He's got a good margin coming off of turn number 4, and he certainly has solidified the lead. He's pulling away. White flag out for Rob Favreau. The lead is almost 2 car lengths. Side by side running for 3rd. Robert Gordon goes to the top of the track. Gordon trying to take 3rd away from Lonnie Rivers in car number 7. Here comes Rob Favreau. He's able to stand up to that challenge from Don Franklin, and he wins it. 2nd qualifier goes to Rob Favreau. Second position to Don Franklin, almost dead even at the stripe. Lonnie Rivers and Robert Gordon. Fifth will go to Josh Terry. 6 to the 10.
17 is Jordan LaGrave. The 16 is Dale O'Neill. And we'll pick up that car at the back as he approaches the green. Bomber main event underway. Simmons gets the jump on the inside of the 26. He's going to lead him up the backstretch the first time. That 78 car, Ben Garrow, will start shotgun. 3 wide action as they head into turn 3. Chad Hendry on the outside moves up, takes the second spot. Signs moves up on the inside. He's going to take the third spot in the 3 car. Alan Simmons, a little bit of smoke coming out of the back end as he heads up the backstretch. The battle on for the number 2 spot. Chad Hendry in that 60 car. Rob Signs in the 3. They run side by side coming off turn 4. That 4th spot, it's the 72 of Curtis LaGrave. LaGrave runs 4th. Bill Joyle Sr. has the 5th spot. The 21 car, Travis Sherman, runs 6th. 2-time winner to start the season, Josh Durvage in the 88, runs in the 7th spot. He looks to the inside of Sherman to try to take that 6th spot away. Durvage trying to keep that unbeaten streak alive. Got a lot of work to do. And he's got to try and run down your leader, Alan Simmons, who maintains that 4-car length advantage over the battle between Rob Signs and now Curtis LaGrave as the 60 car of Hendry has dropped back to the number 5 spot. Joyle Sr. on the inside has moved to 4th. Leaders working by the lap car, Ben Garrow. That has allowed Rob Signs to close in just a bit, just 2-car lengths behind. He's got a challenge now from Curtis LaGrave on the outside in the 72. LaGrave and Signs run side by side, and they are just about to swallow up the 26 of Simmons. That lead, which was 4 or 5 car lengths, is now down to 1 car length as they come off turn 4. LaGrave now looks to the inside. He's going to stick his nose in front coming off turn 2. Simmons drifts high, kicks up the dirt in the bunker. He's going to go from 1st to 2nd, now 3rd as he's hung on the outside of the 3 of Rob Signs. Curtis LaGrave has taken the lead and he starts to pull away from the 3 of Rob Signs. Durvage is on the move. He's worked his way into the number 3 spot in the 88 car underneath Bill Joyle Sr.'s 58. Joyle is back to 4th. The 26 car of Simmons has headed back to the garage area. Top 5 car rounded out by the 21 of Travis Sherman. 7 laps complete for the Bombers as they work their way to 20. Curtis LaGrave Jr. in the 72 is your leader. It's a 5-car gap to the 3 of Rob Signs, the 88 of Durvage. Sherman had some problems on the backstretch in the 21. He was able to gather it back in, but not before he lost a spot. Josh Durvage continuing to work his way to the front in his bid to go 3 in a row to start the 2011 season here at Airborne. He is now taking the 2nd spot away from Rob Signs. Bill Joyle Sr. has gained ground on the inside, and he's going to move right along Signs as they come off turn 4 in a battle for the number 3 spot. LaGrave, Durvage. Joyle is sideways and looping it in turn 2. Caution flag coming out for the 58 of Bill Joyle Sr. Nine to go. 11 to go, rather. 9 down in this Bomber main event. Field picks it up off 4. Back to the green flag. Even at the stripe. Durvage on the outside. LaGrave on the inside. They race it up the backstretch. Durvage sticks his nose in front just a bit. LaGrave trying to battle right back on the inside. Signs runs 3rd. Sherman has moved up to take the 4th spot. As here comes the 14 of Brissett on the inside to take 5th. Curtis LaGrave on the outside. Inside, the 88 of Josh Durvage. They continue their battle for the top spot. Signs and Sherman battle for 3rd. The Brissetts battle for 4th. John Michael in the 14 and Tyler in the 8. Curtis LaGrave doing a nice job making that 72 car stick on the outside. He is now able to get in front of the 88 and pull down to the bottom of the racetrack if he wants, but no. He's happy running on the outside. The 72 strong up there. He'll leave that inside line open for the 88 of Josh Duravage. These two cars have pulled away. What's become a 5-car battle for that number 3 spot. Rob Sainz in the 3, Bill Joyle Sr. in the 58, the 21 of Travis Sherman, the 14 of John Michael Brissett, and Tyler Brissett in the 8. Those 5 cars battling for that number 3 spot, although Joyle has moved inside of the 3 of Sainz, and he is now taken 3rd. We'll see if Joyle's got anything for those top 2 cars as the Grave and the 72 and Duravage and the 88 continue to dice it out for that top spot. Brissett kicking up the dirt on the backstretch as the 14 car got off the top of turn 2, but he's back underway. He has dropped out of that battle for a top 5 spot. LaGrave starting to work around the lap car of Garrow once again, and he'll end up on the 14B of David Brissett as they head into turns 3 and 4. Brissett's 14B running in the middle of the racetrack. This should be interesting as how the leaders approach him. 5 to go this time by for Curtis LaGrave in the 72. Josh Duravage just a car length and a half back as they race it up the backstretch. Duravage has been the dominating factor in this division in 2011. He's won both main events, and he won them easily. Not so easy tonight, as Curtis LaGrave has been very strong in that 72 car. Started in the 10th spot, worked his way to the lead but in the first couple of laps, and has been able to hold off Josh Duravage as we approach lap number 17. LaGrave continues to run that outside line. Duravage keeping the orange 88 on the bottom of the racetrack. Bill Joyle Sr. has pulled away from Rob Sainz. He runs 3rd. Sainz 4th. As Travis Brissett in the 8 ball. Tyler Brissett, rather, in the 8 ball. Holds on to the 5th spot. Be 2 laps to go this time by. It's still LaGrave in the 72. And the 88 of Duravage. This time the lead at the stripe, just a car length. Is Duravage just waiting to make his move? He pulls alongside up the backstretch as they are quickly approaching on 2-lap vehicles. This could get interesting. White flag coming out this time. Curtis LaGrave, 72, Josh Duravage, and the 88. Side by side at the stripe, perhaps the 72 by just a nose. Lap traffic will play a part in the decision. Up the backstretch, Duravage gets a car length advantage. Can LaGrave battle back on the outside? The 78 drops to the bottom of the racetrack. Duravage drifts up. Doesn't impede the progress of the 72. Down the front stretch, checkered flag is going to go to Josh Duravage. Wins it by a nose. Curtis LaGrave settles for 2nd. 3rd spot is going to go to the 58 of Bill Joyle, with Rob Sainz finishing in the 4th spot in car 3. And Tyler Brissett in the 8th will round out your top 5. 3 in a row for the 88 of Josh Duravage. Just a minute, Rob is going to be headed down to Victory Lane, and he'll have a chat with Josh Duravage. Say happy birthday to Dennis, Rob, as you walk by. There he is. 60 years young today.
With Josh Duravage, who's now 3 for 3. Good battle with Curtis LaGrave Jr. that went on for several laps. Curtis shakes his hand. Josh climbing out of his car. Win number 3 for the number 88. 3 for 3 on the season. He struck out the field. Josh Duravage kicks the Airborne Victory Lane sign. He's so excited. He's been here so many times already this year. Josh Duravage, were you just sitting back, biding time there down the stretch?
No, I was giving it all I had, trying some new tires, and they seemed to work out.
And then you worked on the inside, and it looked like lap traffic perhaps factored in there as well. Curtis had to slow up a little bit with some of the slower cars on the top of the track, and that's where he was running pretty well.
Yeah, the slower cars were definitely a factor in this. You had to go around them and be careful. trouble.
Well, 3 for 3. You're off to an even better start. We said you were off to a great start last time. Now an even better start. Congratulations on your success early on.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all my sponsors and my uncle and my dad and everybody that helps me.
All right, that's Josh off on the flatbed earlier in his qualifier. All right, ready to run. Here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag. Branham from the outside of the front row takes the lead into turn number 1. He's going to pull Mike Shagnon with him. Shagnon bobbles, though, into turn number 2. Here comes Keith Pelkey. Travis Bruno in the 33 makes it 3 wide. Down the backstretch into the third turn, racing for third. Bruno's on the inside. Pelkey's in the middle. On the outside, it's Shagnon in the 86. Bucko Branham to lead lap 1. They lean on each other for that third spot. Into turns 1 and 2, they're still bumping and banging. Pelkey's in the middle of that sandwich. Here comes Sean Duquette in the 18 as Travis Bruno has cleared that 3-wide scrum. Now the 18 of Duquette wants in on the action. Duquette to the inside. He's trying to go for 4th, and he will. Here comes Sean Duquette to the 4th spot. Keith Pelkey still trying to find the line down to the inside with the 24. He'll finally get there. Mike Shagnon's hung out on the outside. That outside line has come to life. You can see Robin Wood is moving with the 61. He's already moving up towards the top 5. Out front, it's Bucko Branham by 4. Nick Haywood threading the needle. He's on the move with the Bud 29. He's into the 5th spot. Showing the way is Bucko Branham in the 20. Then it's the 35 for Brian McGinley. The 33 of Travis Bruno runs 3rd. 4th is Sean Duquette with the 18. Nick Haywood runs in the 5th position. 6th is Keith Pelkey in the 24. Then it's Mike Shagnon stuck on the outside. He's been there since the drop of the green with that 86 machine trying to come down on the racetrack. Got a piece of the 11 of Jimmy Bushy and somehow saved that car. Was headed right down to the infield. Shagnon drifts up into turn number 2. Bushy snookered with that 11 car. He's got no place to go now and really boxes up. Tyler Terry in the 44 had to get on the binders as the 86 of Mike Shagnon stuck on the outside. He wants down to the inside of the track and there's just no room to get there. No room at the end for the 86. Bucko Branham's lead is half the backstretch. Brian McGinley in the 35 has been running 2nd, but Travis Bruno wants it, and he's going to take it into turn number 3. Travis Bruno in the 33 coming through on the inside. He'll get that 2nd spot. McGinley back to 3rd. Here comes Sean Duquette. Duquette sniffing the 3rd spot on the inside. 4th is McGinley now in the 35. 5th is the 29 of Nick Haywood. Running in 6th is Robin Wood in the 61. 7th is Keith Pelkey. 8th is Billy Twaits. Here comes Jamie Begor in the 19, trying to take that 8th spot away. Begor right now is 9th, rounding out the top 10. Putting on a charge is Cody Benoit in car number 1. 7 laps complete. Bucko Branham's lead continues to be half the backstretch. Brian McGinley fighting back on the outside for 3rd. Had 3rd off of turn number 2. Sean Duquette still on the inside. Robin Wood wants to go to the top of the track. Wood will take the 61 to the outside of Nick Haywood as they run side by side for spots 3, 4, 5, and 6. Duquette the 18, McGinley the 35, pushes up in turn number 2. They're 3 wide now, racing for the 4th spot. Nick Haywood inside, Robin Wood in the middle, McGinley sliding back, Keith Pelkey's in the mix as well. 5-car battle for the 3rd spot. Sean Duquette's got that 3rd position. Robin Wood and Nick Haywood running side by side, 4 position right behind them. They're in the 4th spot. Haywood works the inside, Wood on the top of the racetrack. Sean Duquette running directly in front of those 2 cars. Now Robin Wood goes to the outside of Sean Duquette. Wood putting on a masterful drive as he works the outside of the track. Here he goes for 3rd around Sean Duquette. Bucko Branham with 10 laps showing on the board has a big lead. Travis Bruno running 2nd. 3rd now Robin Wood, who has cleared Sean Duquette. Wood working on the outside of the racetrack, trying to go for 3 for 3 to start the season as we approach the halfway point of this one. Lap 11 goes up on the board as we head to 25. Branham leading, Bruno 2nd, 3rd Robin Wood, 4th Sean Duquette, 5th is Nick Haywood. And that's a group of cars that are battling for the 6th spot. Keith Pelkey in the 24, Jamie Begor's there in the 19 as well. Working on the outside is Billy Twaits in car 69, and also there is Brian McGinley with a 35. Halfway sign from Chief Starter Butch Henry. Halfway for Bucko Branham. Tell you what, Branham does not want to see a yellow flag because that 61 is in the hunt. If he can get around Travis Bruno, and if there was some type of yellow flag to slow the pace, he'd pick up a whole bunch of ground on the racetrack, and he would be in the mix to go 3 for 3. Side by side racing for that 4th spot, Nick Haywood and Sean Duquette. Side by side racing for position number 5, and now side by side for the 2nd position. Here comes Robin Wood down to the inside. Travis Bruno trying to hold him off of turn number 4, down to the front stretch. And it's the 61 of Robin Wood in that 2nd spot. Travis Bruno running third now on the outside as Robin Wood tries to finish off the pass. A lot of good side-by-side racing. One car that is really hauling the mail is Benoit in the 1. He's worked around Bigor, and he is working on the 35 of McGinley, who's sideways, dirt tracking over at turn number 4. Bucko Branham, Robin Wood, Travis Bruno, Sean Duquette, Nick Haywood. Those cars running in the top 5. The rest of the top 10, Billy Thwaites is 6th, Cody Benoit is 7th, Jamie Bigor is 8th, 9th is Keith Pelkey, and 10th is Brian McGinley. Jimmy Bushy runs the 11 and 11th. Running in the 12th spot is Tyler Terry, 13th is Dave Raptoy, 14th is Howard Stoner, 15th is Danny Sullivan. Boy, 2 cars that have been running side by side for several laps now, the 29 and the 18. They've had a good battle going side by side for position, and they continue to run that way around the racetrack as they race for the 4th spot. Bucko Branham's lead is shrinking slightly, but there's not enough time, barring a yellow flag, for Robin Wood to chase him down, I don't believe. Lap number 18 about to go up on the scoreboard. So far, caution free. Danny Sullivan got a big piece of the bunker. He's kicked up a lot of dirt, but he's back at speed over in turn 3. Branham in the 20, the 61 of Wood, the 33 of Bruno. The battle for 4th still side by side. It's been that way for many laps now. Billy Thwaites running right behind them is in the 6th position. 7th is Cody Benoit. And running in 8th is Jamie Bigor, still with a 19. Keith Pelkey is 9th. And the battle for 10th, Jimmy Bushy in the 11 and Brian McGinley in car number 35. Bushy in the 11 is going to move into the top 10. Robin Wood is eating into the lead of Bucko Branham. It is down to 4 car lengths at the stripe. 5 laps to go for Bucko Branham. Wood has the disadvantage down to 3 in the middle of the backstretch. Here's where he's picking them up. In 3 and 4, he closes to 1. Robin Wood is just off the back bumper now of Bucko Branham. 1.5 car lengths at the stripe. Lap 21 up on the board. Wood is there on the inside. Robin Wood looks to the inside. Bucko Branham works to the top of the track. Robin Wood sticks the nose underneath as they race into turn number 3. Dave Raptoy spinning over in turn number 2, and that's going to bring out a yellow flag. First yellow flag of this feature event. Dave Raptoy spins over the inside of turn number 2. 21 Bucko. 2 leaders in this division in wins over the years to settle it tonight. Green flag. They run even into turn number 1. Robin Wood goes way to the top of turn number 2, puts the nose out in front down the backstretch. Brandon will try to hang with him on the inside. Here come some other cars right behind Travis Bruno trying to get in the mix for 3rd. On the outside of the racetrack, Robin Wood has the lead. Billy Thwaites with an aggressive move. Thwaites is coming to the front with a 69. It's Robin Wood pulling away now 2 car lengths. Bucko Branham running in the 2nd spot. Travis Bruno is 3rd, but feeling a heat from Nick Haywood on the outside. Billy Thwaites is also closing with a 69. Popsicle sticks are out. 2 laps to go for Robin Wood. Bucko Branham continues to run in that 2nd spot. Travis Bruno 3rd. Side by side for 4th. Thwaites on the inside. Nick Haywood on the outside. 2 sophomore drivers in the division running for that 4th spot. A white flag out for Robin Wood. Oh, an outstanding late race charge put on by car number 61. Robin Wood drives it for the final time into 3 and 4. Here he comes off the 4th turn. Down the front stretch. 3 for 3. Robin Wood gets it done as they're piling up over in turn number 4 as they finish this one. 2nd at the stripe was Branham. 3rd to Travis Bruno. And we still have cars spinning over in turns 1 and 2. As well as cars spinning up in turn number 4. A wild finish, but certainly.
In just a minute, we're going to be going down trackside where Rob Knowles will chat with another the JNS Steel Sportsman main event winner, Robin Wood. Rob?
All right, Rick. Waiting for, Bucko's even got a 61 t-shirt on. He says, if you can't beat him, join him. How about a nice round of applause for Robin Wood? 3 for 3. Started 12th on the outside of row number 6. And again, it's pretty clean. This car worked where you wanted it to go. Worked on the inside when you needed it, and then on that restart, worked on the outside.
Yeah, the car was pretty decent tonight. Still not perfect, but the track's a little bit different this year, and everybody's chasing it, and so far I think we've hit it the best of everybody else.
What was your approach from the start of the race, knowing that you were starting deeper in the field? Was it get going as soon as possible and really try to get to the front as quick as you can, knowing that Bucko was up there?
No, actually, I kind of took it easy at first, just tried to let everything weed out a little bit and tried to miss the wrecks. And actually, it was a pretty good race. We went like 21 laps, I think, without a caution. So it was a pretty decent race for the fans. I got to thank my sponsors, Ganyanka Territorial Bingos, Renerac, Leland's Barbershop, Lorman's, Daniel Signs, and my crew, and that's everybody that supports me every week.
And then just take me through that final restart, 4 to go, and you're on the outside.
I had him right before that caution came out. I was on the inside of him. I really didn't want to see the caution come out, but I knew I was a little bit quicker than he was, so I just drove it really hard in turn 1. The car stuck, and that was pretty much it.
All right, nice job. 3 for 3, and you think there's more in this thing?
We'll see next week.
All right,
We'll
Robin
pace
Wood,
the field down to the green flag. First ever appearance of the Race of Champions Asphalt Modified Tour at the Airborne Speedway in Plattsburgh. Here they come off turn number 4, green flag. A real good start for Pauls on the inside as he leaves Jan Leedy at the altar. Tommy Close moves to second with a 69. They run wheel to wheel off of turn number 2 along the backstretch. Out front it's Pauls with the number 8. Close running in the second spot with car 69, and then running in third it's Shearer in the number 3. Jan Leedy back to fourth with car number 6. Then it's Bill Heaving in the 1 running in the 5th spot. Moving on the outside, wheel to wheel racing, Hausfeld in the 22. Works to the outside of Kyle Ebersol in the 5.
Earl Pauls leads them up the backstretch. Battle heating up for the number 2 spot. Close on the outside. Scherer on the inside. It's going to be Scherer to stick his nose in front. He's going to go to second.
Close fights back on the outside, already putting a lap on the 34 of Frecci. He pulls down to the inside as they continue to run wheel to wheel into turn number 3 for that second spot. Close, not giving it up on the outside. Here comes Shearer trying to get through on the inside with a Binghamton Mets sponsored number 3 machine. Close holds him off. He'll go back to the second spot, working the rim on the racetrack. Already the outside of the racetrack coming in for these asphalt modified teams. A testament to it right there, Rick. Tom Close able to hold off Shearer, working the top of the track.
Scherer falls back to the 3rd spot. Jan Leedy runs 4th. Heaving holds down that 5th spot in the 1 car, and it's the Ebersol 5.
A freight train around the half mile in the early stages of the race. Close, sizing up off the back bumper of Paul's. The Potsdam driver looking down to the inside. The Hemikuda Racing number 69, which has won a number of events at this racetrack in this racetrack's history, running in that second spot. Close, pulling in up on the back bumper, looking down to the inside. He's going to stay in line for now as lap number 8 goes up on the scoreboard. 8 laps complete. Earl Pauls has led since the drop of the green flag. Close runs in the second spot, a car length back. Then it's a car length and a half back to Shearer, running in the 3rd spot. Jan Leedy runs in the 4th position with car number 6. Then it's a good gap back to the 5th position. That's the one of Bill Heaving. Running behind Heaving in 6th right now is Ebersol in the 5. Then it's Chuck Hausfeld in the 22. Then it's the 2 for Emmerling.
Take a look at that line that Earl Pauls is running in the 8 car, keeping it in the middle of the racetrack. Taking up that middle groove, it's going to be tough for Close to try to work by on the outside. He may have to make his move when it comes time on the inside of the racetrack.
Well, Close has already shown a propensity to run on the top of the track. That's where he's fastest. But right now, as you said, that line is being taken away by Pauls running in front of him. He's working a middle line through the turns, and Close wants the top of the track, but then he diamonds it to the top of the racetrack coming off of turns 2 and 4.
Jan Leedy in the 6 car has closed the gap on those top 3 cars. He's just down 2 car lengths behind the Binghamton Mets, car number 3 of Darren Scherer.
Last time there was a little contact over in turn number 4. Bill Hebing got a tap on the back of his car from the 5 of Kyle Ebersol. Hebing had to get on the binders, collected the car. Ebersol ended up losing a spot as Chuck Hausfeld was able to work past with his number 22 machine. Let's set the field with 13 laps showing on the board. Paul's showing the way. Close runs in the second spot. Third is Shearer. Running fourth is Jan Leedy. The top 5 rounded out by Bill Hebing as they work around a slower car. That's the car of Canestrari that goes down a lap, and we've got a yellow flag. Yellow flag out on the Speedway. Rick Kluth has pulled the 44 into the infield. All right, ready for the restart. Earl Paulus in the 8 from Palmerton, Pennsylvania. Setting the pace. Green flag. Paulus shows the way off of turn number 2. Then it's close in the 69 in the second spot. A good restart for Paulus on the inside. Falling back close in the 69 into the clutches of Scherer. And here comes Scherer through in car number 3. He'll take that second spot away. Darren Scherer from Binghamton, New York goes to the second position. Sparks flying off the back of his car off of turn number 2. Close fading back to third. Paulus shows the way with the 8. Paulus's lead is 2.5 car lengths over the 3 of Darren Scherer. Running in that third spot is close to the 69. Then it's the 6 of Jan Leedy. A 1 of Bill Hebing rounding out the top 5.
Up front, it continues to be Earl Paulus, the Palmerton, Pennsylvania driver, leading the way in the 8. Continuing to run that middle line, but it looks like the Scherer 3 may like the bottom of the racetrack, Rob. As close in the 69 drops back to third, he continues to prefer the outside. Leedy right on the back bumper of the 69 car in car number 6 as he looks to the bottom of the racetrack.
Wheel-to-wheel racing right behind Chuck Hausfeld. Mike Leedy in the 25 working on the top of the racetrack. Down on the inside, it's the Ebersol 5. Give the position to Mike Leedy in the number 25. Mike Leedy moving into the 7th spot. Ebersol will fall back to 8th. Behind him, they run wheel-to-wheel for position just inside the top 10. Jimmy Zacharias in the 07. It's the 98 of Eric Rudolph on the inside. Those two machines running wheel-to-wheel. As they race for the 10th position, Rudolph grabs the 10th spot. Zacharias on the outside now with his hands full as Andy Welko in the 27 tries to take that spot away.
Scherer looks to the inside as they come off turn 2, but again, Paulus able to pull away. We've got a spin at turn 2. Caution flag is out as we've got one car turned around.
Slow pace as they work methodically into turn number 3. Paulus waiting to jump on the hammer. He's got Scherer at his door on the outside. Still slow to 4. Now he's on the hammer. Green flag. Look out, we got a major pileup on the front stretch. Mike Leedy spins and keeps it rolling. The 5 of Ebersol is just sitting off the wall. Bill Hebing in the 1 is parked against the wall. Mike Leedy did a 180 and is trying to roll through the infield with the number 25. So it's Paulus in the 8, Scherer in the 3. Ready to run. Last time Paulus set a very slow pace into 3 and 4. He's on the hammer now, and here they come along the front stretch. Green flag, back out. Better restart this time. Earl Paulus with the 8, leading by a car length, sliding back as close in the 69. Close, didn't get up to speed over in turn number 2, lost a spot to Jan Leedy and really boxed it up behind him. Rudolph in the 98 had to get on the binders. That 69 did not want to come to life over in turn 2. They run wheel to wheel. The 69 have closed. The 07 is Zacharias. Jimmy Zacharias in the 07 works around Tom Close again. He seems to struggle over in turn number 2, losing the spot to Zacharias. Rudolph is boxed up behind him and also looking to move on the outside. Another machine, and believe it might be the 14 of Riom as he tries to move up.
Top 3 cars have pulled away from the 4th place car of Jimmy Zacharias. Paulus continues to lead the way. He's got a 3-car length advantage on the 3 of Scherer. Jan Leedy has moved the 6th car into the number 3 spot. Had a good restart as the 69 of Close dropped back. Leedy gained the ground. He's now running 3rd. Zacharias is 4th, and the Close 69 back to the number 5 spot.
Lap 24 goes up on the scoreboard. A lot of laps remaining. Still 76 to run. Don't have to play the cards just yet. Bide your time, run around the racetrack, maintain good track position. That seems to be the strategy for several of the drivers that are working towards the front, not really pushing their machines, not at least at this point. Paulus with the 8, working hard out front. His lead has been anywhere from 1 to 3 or 4 car lengths. We got a yellow flag as there's a spinner over in turn number 4. Yellow flag comes out. The teams get on the binders. As spinning on the inside of turn start with 25 laps complete. Same two dance partners on the front row. Here they come. Paulus, green flag. Shearer falls in line with the Bingo Mets number 3. Running in that second spot, he's right off the back bumper. Jan Leedy running in third. Close in the 69 is on the inside. Working on the outside is Zacharias in the 07. Jimmy Zacharias running in the 4th spot with the 07 car. Then it's close with the 69. Rudolph in the 98 running in position number 5. Right behind him, Hausfeld. Hausfeld diving down to the inside. A bonsai move by Chuck Hausfeld to get a spot away from Rudolph. And here he comes off of turn number 4 looking to the inside.
Just 27 laps in the books. These guys are getting racy. You could throw a blanket on the top 6 or 7 cars as they continue to swap positions. Now 3 wide up in turn 3.
Look at Hausfeld on the inside. Hausfeld gets a spot. He gets 2 spots. We're going after Zacharias now. Chuck Hausfeld's into the top 5. Looking underneath Jimmy Zacharias as Chuck Hausfeld is on a rail. Working that inside line, picking them off one by one. He's got room underneath Leedy if he tries to get there. Leedy comes down in front of him. He'll hang on to that 3rd spot, but the man on the move is car number 22. Keep an eye on Chuck Hausfeld. He's the 4th in the 22, and he's working a rail on the inside.
Up front, Darren Scherer is your leader in the 3, but keep an eye on that 22 Hausfeld. Had problems earlier in the event, but has worked his way into the top 5 in a battle for the 4th spot with the 07 of Jimmy Zacharias.
Darren Shearer was able to take the lead away from Earl Paulus while we were talking about Chuck Hausfeld in the 22 charging towards the front of the field. Shearer is starting to pull away from Paulus in that 2nd spot. Jan Leedy still running comfortably in 3rd. Now to 4th is Chuck Hausfeld in the 22. Following him down to the inside, Eric Rudolph looks to move as well. Rudolph with a peek down to the inside off of turn number 4, trying to take the spot from Zacharias. Conover slow on the inside. They'll have to work around him. Everybody does. Out front, it's still Darren Shearer by 5 car lengths.
The line that Shearer took to get the lead was the bottom of the racetrack. But now that he's got the lead, Rob, he's running that same middle groove that the 8 car of Paulus was running.
Wheel-to-wheel racing for the 3rd spot. The 22 of Hausfeld, the 6 of Jan Leedy. Wheel-to-wheel into turn number 3. Right in front of Leedy, working the middle of the track is Paulus with a number 8. These cars finding multiple grooves to run around. Hausfeld getting it done on the inside. As Rick mentioned, Shearer getting it done in the middle and outside of the racetrack. Here comes Hausfeld again, making a bid for 3rd to take it away from Jan Leedy, maybe even 2nd, as he's got room down on the inside from Paulus.
Paulus continuing to run that middle line, and Zacharias has been really getting it done on the outside, and on the inside, it's been the 22 car of Hausfeld.
Hausfeld works the inside, Leedy works the outside. They have been wheel to wheel now for 3 laps. Right behind them is Eric Rudolph with the number 98. Now Leedy with the 6, gets the nose in front. Hausfeld might want to run a few laps and perhaps bide his time as they work around the slower car of Canestrari. Out front, it's still Shearer in the number 3, leading by 5 car lengths over Earl Paulus.
Still 13 to go before we reach the halfway point, and they are dicing it for those top 5 spots. Your leader in the Binghamton Mets sponsored car number 3, Darren Scherer from Binghamton, New York. 2nd spot, it's the 8 car of Earl Paulus from Palmerton, Pennsylvania. And it's Jan Leedy who was taking back the 3rd spot, getting it done on the outside in the 6th. Hausfeld back to 4th.
Hausfeld looks to the outside, now comes back down towards the inside of the racetrack, perhaps trying to find a faster line around the Big A, searching for that line that he wants to run, but he can't experiment too much because he's got Eric Rudolph working right off of his back bumper with that number 98 machine. Now Leedy wants to run. He's peeking to the outside, but that line taken away by Paulus.
Paulus is going to be difficult to pass on the outside. He's kept that car in the middle lane to the top groove most of the entire race. When the leader got by, he went by on the inside, and it's going to be tough, but Leedy's going to give it a try as once again he works to the outside off 4.
And to get on the binders a little bit, that breaks his momentum coming off of 4. Now will he dive down to the inside? Had a lot of momentum built up off of 2. But again, you had to see him break it up because he was coming right up on the back bumper of Paulus with that number 8 machine. So Earl Paulus running in 2nd, perhaps slowing down at 2 or 3 cars behind him that would like to find a way around. But right now, difficult to pass the 8 machine of Paulus.
Paulus has maintained that 5 or 6 car length advantage on the battle that's been going on for the number 2 spot.
Darren Shearer in the number 3 showing the way. He's the one with the 5 or 6 car length advantage. Paulus runs in the second position with the number 8. Then it's 2 car lengths back to Jan Leedy. Not even to the halfway point. You can sense that perhaps the driver's wanting to hold back a little bit, as there still is certainly a lot of time remaining in this one as they approach the halfway point.
That lead continues to be 5 or 6 car lengths for sure. Paulus doing his best to hold off Jan Leedy. They continue their battle for the number 2 spot. And a battle once again for the number 3 spot. Getting it back on the outside. Leedy holds the 3rd spot in the 6th. And Hausfeld in the 22 takes over the 4th spot.
Hausfeld had a battle going with Eric Rudolph for the 4th position. Hausfeld in the 22 feeling the heat from Rudolph, but he was able to hold on to the 4th position. Hausfeld's got a fast car. He's looking outside at Jan Leedy. Hausfeld in the 22 going to the top of the racetrack now. He's going to come back in line as he's got Eric Rudolph still right off of his back bumper. Let's set the field as we approach the halfway point. Darren Shearer leads. Running in second is Earl Paulus. Running in the 3rd position, it is Jan Leedy in the 6th. 4th is Chuck Hausfeld. 5th is the 98 of Eric Rudolph. We have a spin in the middle of the backstretch, and that's going to bring out a yellow flag just shy of the halfway point and ready for a restart. Shearer on the inside, Paulus on the outside. All right, here they come. Off of turn number 4, green flag. Jan Leedy peeking to the inside. Paulus, though, is right on that back bumper of Shearer. Shearer shows the way. It's a car length. Chuck Hausfeld on the outside, thinking about going down, making a bid for Leedy in the 6th. You can see Leedy bobble off of turn number 4. That allowed Hausfeld with a good run along the front stretch to take 3rd away. Chuck Hausfeld goes to 3rd.
Leedy back to the 4th spot in the 6th car. The Rudolph 98 settles into that number 5 spot as they are halfway.
Now that Chuck Hausfeld is in the 3rd position, that's a car that has been hooked down on the inside of the racetrack. Let's see if the 8 of Earl Paulus can hold him off. He's worked that middle line, and I believe the 22 might be able to find room down to the inside and make a bid. He's going to bide his time for now.
Hausfeld has had his greatest success in this event on the bottom of the racetrack, and that door is being left open by the 8 car of Paulus. Now he looks back to the inside as they come off turn 4. He's right there. He's going to have a chance to get second as they go to 1.
A slingshot move by Chuck Hausfeld. They almost touch over in turn number 2. Hausfeld feigned high, then dove down to the inside. Chuck Hausfeld goes to the 2nd spot. He finishes the pass in turn number 4. Now he'll begin chase of leader Darren Shearer.
Shearer in the 3 is your leader, but look at this. Here comes Paulus looking to the inside, but Hausfeld says no. The 22 runs 2nd. The 8 running in the 3rd spot of Paulus. Leedy is back to 4th. Rudolph 5th. Close is 6th.
Tommy Close was able to get a spot away from Mike Leedy. Leedy had been 6th on the last restart, but Close going to that 6th spot as he makes the pass of Leedy in the number 25. Shearer leads by a car length. Hausfeld looking to the outside. 55 laps on the board, 45 remain. It's the 3 of Darren Shearer, the driver from Binghamton, New York, leading Chuck Hausfeld, who's out of Lockport, just outside of Buffalo. It's a 1 car length advantage for the 3, half a car length of the stripe. Hausfeld continues to look high. He looks low. That 22 is a tick faster, but he's got to find his way around the 3.
Well, that slingshot move worked perfectly to get him the number 2 spot. He may be thinking about it once again, although perhaps the 3 car running now more to the bottom of the racetrack, Rob, rather than that middle line that he was running in the past few laps.
You can see the 3 just bobble over in turn number 2, opening the door for Hausfeld on the inside. Chuck Hausfeld makes the pass in 3. Here comes Shearer back after him on the inside. Hausfeld's running away. Chuck Hausfeld takes the lead on lap number 58. Hausfeld leading. Shearer running in the 2nd spot.
Here comes Shearer back to the bottom of the racetrack to try to get by, but Hausfeld says no once again. Hausfeld is your leader. Shearer is 2nd. Paulus in the 8 runs in that 3rd spot. Jan Leedy runs 4th in the 6th. Then it's the Rudolph 98 and the Close 69 and the Leedy 25. Your top 7 have pulled away from the 8th place car.
Chuck Hausfeld is pulling away from the second place car right now. He's starting to check out. Remember, that's the same machine that spun early in the race over in turn number 2. At that time, having problems with the race car, but there's no problems right now. He brought it onto pit road. They made an adjustment, and whatever they did, well, it has been a rocket ship ever since. It was early in the race. Lap 61 goes up on the board, and the lead right now, 4 car lengths and growing. Matter of fact, Shearer is feeling the heat from Paulus in that number 8 machine, who is closing in on the back bumper. Perhaps the 3 is starting to fade a little bit.
Keep this in mind as we get to the final stages of this race. The 22 car of Hausfeld started 8th, had a spin early, had to work his way to the front from the deep back of the pack. Will those tires go the distance?
Chuck Hausfeld continues to grow the lead out front. What was 5, now is 6, now is 7 car lengths at the stripe. And the man who's under the gun right now is Shearer with the number 3. Because that 8 machine of Paulus is right off the back bumper. Then it's 2 car lengths back to Jan Leedy in the number 6, who still holds down the 6th spot. Eric Rudolph's been stuck in that 5th position now for several laps.
Here comes a challenge for that number 2 spot. Paulus looks to the inside, trying to take that 2nd spot away. Perhaps he has the stronger car right now, and he could try and run down the 22, but it'll be the 3 car of Shearer to hold on to that number 2 spot.
Well, Chuck Hausfeld right now on cruise control out front. He's working a very smooth line around the racetrack as they try to duke it out for that 2nd position, a position right now being held down by Darren Shearer. He held off a challenge a few laps back from the 8th of Earl Paulus. And you go back to the pass that Hausfeld made, Rick, for the lead on lap 58, and you had just talked about how Shearer had moved to a lower line. And I think that wasn't the line that his car needed. His car not as fast on the inside. He bobbled coming off a 2. That broke all of his momentum, and Hausfeld was able to race past him in the middle of the backstretch.
And he has extended his lead as they head up the backstretch. They'll complete lap 68 this time by. Right now it's Hausfeld's race to lose.
The lead continues to grow, almost half the front stretch for Chuck Hausfeld on board the number 22. Shearer in that 2nd spot. 3rd, Paulus. 4th is still Jan Leedy. 5th is Rudolph in the number 98. No change in the top 5 running order as Chuck Hausfeld works a slower car from the back. That's the Canestrari 17.
There's been a good battle, Rob, going on for that 6th spot. The 69 of Tommy Close and the 2 of Eberle.
In the meantime, we've got to change a 2nd spot. The 8 of Paulus has worked past Shearer. Now Jan Leedy gets by the number 3. At 3 of Shearer appears to be fading. There was contact over in turn number 2, and that allowed Paulus to move underneath, and Jan Leedy also moved underneath as the 3 continues to fall back through the field. He's now running in the 4th spot. Let's see if Paulus can do anything with the 22 of Hausfeld.
Hausfeld has his biggest lead of the evening. It's about a 15-car length advantage over the 8 of Paulus. Leedy about 5 car lengths back, running 3rd in the 6th car, and it's a good 3-car battle for that number 4 spot with the 3 of Shearer trying desperately to hold on, but Rudolph's going to go by on the inside, as is the 2?
It's the 2 of Emmerling. Right now, that 3 car is evil. You could see that rear end really kick on him, especially over in turn number 2, and coming off of turn number 4, it has been trouble. But Darren Shearer is fading as he has fallen back now to the 6th spot with that number 3, and he's fallen back further because here comes Tommy Close to the 69. He's going to put it back to the 7th spot, and then you get 2 other cars that are running right behind him that will drop him back 1, maybe 2, make that 2 positions further. So the 3 either with a tire down or something really amiss as he is fading back through the field.
Well, the early answers to the question is, can the 8 of Paulus gain ground on the 22 of Hausfeld? No. That advantage is maintained by the 22 of Chuck Hausfeld, looking to go back-to-back to kick off the season for the Race of Champions Asphalt Modified.
25 laps remain for Chuck Hausfeld, and barring some type of mechanical failure, flat tire, big-time problem, Chuck Hausfeld's looking really good right now for that 2nd victory in the Race of Champions Modified Tour. As a 2nd position, Paulus, he's not feeling a lot of heat from Jan Leedy, who's running 2 car lengths back. And then it's half a backstretch back to the 4th place runner. Here comes the 98 of Rudolph, but he's feeling the heat now from the 2 of Emmerling.
That Emmerling car has gained ground in the past few laps. He's gained 4 or 5 spots, working his way up into the top 5.
Yeah, that might be one of the fastest cars on the racetrack, but where he is running right now on the track, he's almost a full front stretch behind the 22 of Hausfeld. Hausfeld, the leader. If we would get a caution flag, then that might bring a car like the 2 of Emmerling into the ball game. But as it stands right now, Chuck Hausfeld, without a yellow flag, this one's over.
Right now the battle is for that number 2 spot. Paulus in the 8, Leedy in the 6. They run second and third. Then it's another gap back to a good battle for that 4th spot between the 2 of Emmerling and the 98 of Rudolph.
Lap number 80 about to go up on the scoreboard. Just 20 laps remain this time by. Here comes Chuck Hausfeld, and his lead is still half the front stretch over the 8 of Paulus, with Jan Leedy still maintaining that 3rd spot. And then it's a full backstretch back to the number 2 car of Patrick Emmerling. Emmerling is pulling away from Eric Rudolph, who is running in 5th still.
Opening week winner at the Oswego Speedway, the 22, Chuck Hausfeld, driver from Lancaster, New York, looking for his 2nd of the season. He's got the big advantage over the 2nd place car of Paulus.
Hausfeld maintaining the advantage. The battle for 2nd is heating up. Jan Leedy still with some life in that number 6 machine. He's eyeing the back bumper of the Paulus number 8. Leedy, the racing veteran out of Williamson, New York. He's been at it since the early 80s, and he's maintaining that 3rd spot, but he'd like to get to the 2nd position. Emmerling is closing in on that battle for 2nd, but he's still a good gap back as well. As next time by, Chuck Hausfeld's going to put lap 85 up on the scoreboard. There'll be 15 laps remaining for the Lockport, New York driver.
The battle continues for that number 2 spot. Paulus has done a good job running that middle line, and it has worked to a 2nd place run right now. Leedy doing his best to get by. Now we got trouble on the 6 car. He had trouble in turn 2, lost 3 or 4 car lengths on that 2nd place car of Paulus.
And we saw the 5 of Ebersol move around the 98 of Rudolph as well. So Ebersol picks up a spot. Rudolph in the 98, he's starting to fade back. That car bad loose coming off of turn number 4.
So the top 5 cars have spread out as we approach lap number 90. They complete 87 this time by.
Hausfeld is the leader. Paulus continues to hold on to the 2nd spot. Jan Leedy in 3rd, falling back into the grasp of the 2 of Emmerling. And I'll tell you, Rick, I really think if we had a yellow flag, Emmerling would be in the mix here, because he has chased down Jan Leedy in what was half a track behind the 22 of Hausfeld. He's now about a front stretch. That 2 car may be the fastest car on the racetrack. Running in the 5th position right now is Kyle Ebersol in the 5. Tommy Close is 6th in the 69. Running in 7th is Rudolph. Then it's Zacharias in the 07. And a wheel-to-wheel battle running for the next spot, Mike Leedy and the 14 of Rion.
Emmerling looks to the inside of Leedy. They battle for the number 3 spot. They're side by side up the backstretch. And the 2 sticks a nose in front. Emmerling goes to the number 3 spot. We've got car off turn 4. And the yellow flag is out on lap 89.
Single file restart. Close is running in the 6th spot. 11 laps remain. A dash for the win at Airborne tonight. Here they come off of turn number 4. Green flag. Hausfeld in the 22 works down on the inside of the racetrack. Jan Leedy in trouble with a 6. He pushed bad up the track in turn number 2, losing a spot to Close, who's trying to get to the top 4. He will. Leedy's in trouble, I believe, Rick, with that number 6 machine.
And had a bobble just a few laps ago when he lost the number 3 spot in that same area.
Trying to nurse that car home now, inside 10 laps remaining. Out front, Chuck Hausfeld. The lead is a car length and a half. Paulus runs in that 2nd spot. Emmerling in the 2 runs in 3rd. Trying to hang with Chuck Hausfeld. Now the lead is 2 car lengths at the stripe.
The 8 car of Paulus now running more of a bottom line as they head up the backstretch, trying to keep the Emmerling number 2 behind him in that number 3 spot.
Now, I think Emmerling would have something for Hausfeld, but he is boxed right now behind the 8 of Paulus. He's all over the back bumper trying to get by. That 2 car continues to fly around the racetrack, but right now snookered behind the 8. He can't make a play for the win.
Hausfeld, your leader in the 22. Paulus runs in the number 2 spot. Emmerling, 3rd in the deuce. Close, 4th in the 69. 5th spot. It's the Ebersol number 5.
Ebersol going after Close off of turn number 2. Close will hang on to that 4th position. Out front, Hausfeld's lead is back to 5 car lengths as they race down the front stretch. Paulus continues to hold on to the 2nd spot. No longer feeling the heat from the number 2 of Emmerling. Running in the 4th position is Close. Then it is Ebersol in the 5. Running in 6th is Zacharias with a 0.7. 5 laps to go this time by 5 to go for Chuck Hausfeld.
Hausfeld starting to pull away from the battle for the number 2 spot. That's the best battle on the racetrack as the 8 and the 2 continue to do battle. And it's a big gap back to the Tommy Close 69 who runs into that 4th spot. They complete lap number 96. And the 22 of Chuck Hausfeld extending that lead once again.
Again, Emmerling was right on the back bumper of the 8, but he was not able to work his way around the Paulus machine. Paulus hanging on to that second position, continues to work that middle line. Here again is Emmerling closing in, but Paulus in that second spot. Hausfeld continues to pull away on the inside as they duke it out for the second spot. Lap number 98 about to go up on the board.
That middle line working once again for the 8 car as he is able to hold off the charge of Emmerling. 2 to go this time by for the Hausfeld 22.
Chuck Hausfeld sails off into turn number 2. The battle continues for the second spot. Running in 4th is still Tommy Close, the Potsdam native, closest driver to Plattsburgh in the field, running in that 4th position. Here comes the leader, Chuck Hausfeld. 1 lap to go for Hausfeld in the 22. Drives it up into turn 1. Hausfeld smooth through turn 2. There's a slower car in front, should not factor in. Hausfeld, final time down the backstretch. He'll move it down to the inside into turn number 3. Now drifts up to the middle of the track off 4. Here he comes, Lockport, New York's Chuck Hausfeld wins. Second to the 8 of Paulus. Third, Paulus for Emmerling as he shuts down. Third is going to be Close in the 69. Then Ebersol ends up 4th as the team scramble across the start-finish line with the 2 of Patrick Emmerling having troubles in the final turn. He goes from a 3rd place finish to somewhere just inside the top 10.
Now, how about a nice round of applause for Lockport, New York's Chuck Hausfeld, everybody. Well, Chuck, in the early stages of the race, I saw the 22 over there on the inside of turn number 2, and something happened to that race car to make it lightning quick, and it was really fast down on the inside especially, it seemed.
Yeah, you know, we use that as an opportunity to grab a tire, and a lot of guys didn't. So we use the spin to grab a tire and make an adjustment, and I got to thank my team. We came here really short-handed, and Don Ryerse's really done a great job on my car. He's like my main guy, and it's just, I'm speechless. It's just great to come here and travel a little bit and run and win and have such a dominant car. I'm just proud of all that.
Talk about the winning pass that you made. It was back on lap 58. At the time, it was Darren Shearer who was leading out front, and you were able to beat him down the backstretch on the inside.
Yeah, you know, he's come a long way over the years, and he's really good lately, and good competition here. The ROC Tour is cool to race on, and was able to get him. My car could move around and use the power, and it was just a riot, a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations. You're 2 for 2 on the series, and you get your first victory here at the Airborne Speedway. Thanks a lot for making the trip here, and congratulations on the win.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? I want to thank everyone that's here. It's great to see a lot of fans at the track, and I'll be back whenever there's a race. I appreciate it.
All right, that is Chuck Hausfeld, everybody.
For the start of tonight's 30-lap Ernie's Discount Tools Modified Race Green Flag. Cars into the infield. Todd Ormsby with a 0 with trouble. The 66 of Jason Bruno in trouble. And the yellow flag comes right back out. Contact on the point to set the pace. And it's a 3:27 to Dan Brown from Sutton, Quebec. Here they come. Off of turn number 4. Green flag. Brown slides down right in front of Chris Vernold. He had to get on the binders. That was an aggressive move by Brown trying to get down to the inside. Got into the back bumper of the 27 of Kane as well. Bertiome, he cuts down to the inside of the racetrack. Pat McGrail had to get on the binders with a 10 as they try to slice and dice their way around a Big A. 30 cars still running on the track. Make that 29 with the 2 that have gone back to the garage area. Out front, it's Cam Grady with the number 27. Running in that second spot, still Dan Brown. Now, these 2 guys both put on an excellent show in their qualifiers and had dominating runs. Keep an eye on the middle of the pack. The 24 of Patrick Dupree, the 34 of George Foley, the 90 of Martin Anois. The heavy hitters trying to rise to the top. Don Scarborough in the 11 had to get on the brakes as he looked to the inside of the CO2. No harm, no foul. Everybody keeps on running. Cam Grady leads by 5, and he's opening it up. Running in that second spot is Dan Brown, the 327. Running in third, it is Pat McGrail in car number 10. Chris Vernold is fourth. Pierre Bertillon slips up in turn number 4. He might be in trouble. Bertillon could be sliding back. Maybe another tire going down. Remember, I had a tire go flat. That one is cooked. He's headed back to the garage area, trailing a bunch of sparks as he heads back to the pits. Cam Grady leading by 3 off of turn number 4, smoking that right rear tire a little bit as lap 5 goes up on the board. Grady leads. Brown runs second. McGrail is third. Vernold is fourth. Fifth is Craig Riel. Sixth is Chris K.A. Seventh is Matt Woodruff with a 55. George Foley rounding is into the 8th spot, rather. 9th is Brian Trim. And rounding out the top 10 is the 80 of Andy Haywood. Running in 11th is Patrick Dupree in the 24. 12th right now is Mike Riel. 13th is Don Scarborough. 14th is Vince Quinville. 15th is Greg Atkins in the 90 of Martanois, the point leader, right now running in the 16th position, and he's snookered. He's got no place to go. He's going to the top of the racetrack. Keep an eye on the 90 now as he moves to the outside. Martanois is running 16th as this race is 7 laps in. Out front, Cam Grady feeling heat from Dan Brown. Slower car that they're going to work upon, Colleen Salisbury. They should run up upon that car by the time they get to the middle of the backstretch, maybe over in turns 3 and 4. Grady stays down the inside. The car length is making a car length lead for Grady with a 27. Brown, the 327, as they now work around that 13 car of Salisbury. She'll go down a lap. Dan Brown with a Hooters-sponsored 327 holding on to that second spot. Pat McGrail running in third with a 10. Chris Vernold running strong with a 97. That 97 car did not even qualify for the feature event 2 weeks ago. Missed out in the consolation race. Craig Riel running in the 5th position with a CO2. Running in the 6th spot right now, it is the 34 of George Foley. Foley is on the march with that 34 car up to the 6th position. Chris K.A. runs 7th. 8th is Patrick Dupree. He's on the move. 9th is the double nickel for Matt Woodruff. And Andy Haywood rounds out the top 10 right now with a Gayosa Wine and Spirits number 80. Point leader Martanois. Progress is slow. He is 14th right now with that number 90 machine. So Martanois is not flying towards the front of the field. He's having a tough time working through traffic, and he has not been able to pick off a bunch of cars as he has worked his way towards the front very slowly. And out front, it is still Cam Grady. Grady's lead is 2 car lengths over Dan Brown. Brown, a 2 car length advantage over Pat McGrail as they approach the midway point of this one. Cam Grady, I believe, looking for his first career victory in the Ernie's Discount Tools Modified Division. And he's nearly halfway home to it. He was flying in practice. You could tell that 27 was hooked when he showed up for practice in this afternoon. And that car has certainly demonstrated that he is a car to beat tonight. Dan Brown has also been as fast as we've seen him here at Airborne, running in that second spot. He had a dominating performance in his qualifier. And Pat McGrail, who had a couple of tough weeks to kick off the season, he's running strong in the 3rd spot with car number 10. McGrail looking to go to 2nd. McGrail had a peek down to the inside of Dan Brown that time going into turn number 3, but Brown was able to hold him off. Vernold running in the 4th spot. George Foley is looking to the outside. Foley looks high, now looks down low. Vernold holds the line, taking that top side away from George Foley. Foley will follow him into 3 and 4. A gaggle of cars right in front of the 27 of Cam Grady. 5 cars that he's about to run upon that might impede the progress of the leader. Salisbury is about to go down another lap. Right in front of her is Roger Labreche in the 100. They're running wheel to wheel right in front of the leader. The 0-1 of Terry Hayes about to go down a lap. Roger Labreche works around Hayes, trying to stay on the lead lap. Cam Grady with car number 27, leading by 5 car lengths now off of turn number 2. Dan Brown, the 327, feeling a little heat from the 10 of McGrail, and look who is charging towards the front. He's running 4th right now. That's Mr. George Foley in car number 34. Grady was squirrely that time coming off of turn number 4. He trails Labreche, trying to put him down a lap, now takes to the outside. Cam Grady with a 27. Look at the move put on by McGrail for a second. Here comes Foley to the inside. Foley goes from the 4th spot, make that 5th to 3rd, as George Foley in the 34 is in the house. He's up to 3rd. They work around the 100 of Labreche. Back out on the track is Ormsby. He's going to head to the infield and get out of that mess. Cam Grady leads by 4 car lengths. Running in the second spot is Pat McGrail in car number 10. Running in third, it's George Foley in the 34. Then it's Dan Brown in the 327. Chris Vernold runs 5th with a 97. 6th is Craig Riel. 7th is Pat Dupree. 8th is Andy Haywood. 9th is Chris Kaye of the 18. Running 10th is the 55 of Matt Woodruff. 11th is Don Scarborough. And 12th right now is the 90 of Martin Tanawa. Point leader stuck in 12th, and he is not going anywhere very fast. Cam Grady, lap number 22, is about to go up on the board. Grady is looking for his first career Ernie's Discount Tools modified victory, and he's got a lead of 5 car lengths over Pat McGrail in the 10. George Foley in the 34 is charging. He is in third, and he is closing quickly on the back bumper of McGrail. He's going to have to work around McGrail to get himself into the hunt as laps are winding down. 7 laps remain now for the 27 of Grady. We got a mess up in turn number 3. A mess in turn number 3. Jimmy Ryan, the 60. Leon Gagno, the 4. Vince Quinville in the 78. Another car went flying off the top. Max Vienna, the 25. Was able to stay on all 4. 22 laps complete. 8 remain. Cam Grady in the 27. Setting the pace off of turn number 4. Hammer down, green flag. McGrail right on the back bumper off turn number 2. Look at the 24. Patrick Dupree to the inside of Vernold's car. Vernold's fight back on the outside. Dupree will hang on to the 6th position for now as Vernold goes to the top of the racetrack. Cam Grady with a 27 leading. Pat McGrail is there right off the back bumper. George Foley trying to get a good run off of turn number 2. Dupree to the inside of Dan Brown. Here comes Patrick Dupree trying to get to the 4th spot. The pistol Patrick Dupree charging through on the inside. He's up to the 4th position. Defending track champion Patrick Dupree to the 4th spot. Out front, look at Foley go to the outside. There goes George Foley. Foley around McGrail on the outside. Gets into the bunker. Foley trying to hang on to the position. Out front, it's Cam Grady. The Wolves are starting to howl, and they're trying to chase down the meat. Grady in the 27 shows the way. The 10 of McGrail runs in a 2nd spot. Here comes the 34 of Foley. Around McGrail on the outside. 25 laps showing on the scoreboard. 4 laps remain. Can Grady hang on? They're still wheel to wheel for that 2nd spot. The 10 of McGrail. The 34 of Foley has the 2nd position. Grady in the 27 leads by 2. Foley chasing him down. What was 2 is now 1 into turns 3 and 4. Cam Grady in the 27 looking for his first career victory tonight. 1 car length is the lead. 27 laps up on the scoreboard. Foley, half a car length behind. Gets a good run off 2. Dives down to the inside. Here comes George Foley for the lead. Foley to the inside. Takes the lead away. Grady coming back down to the inside. George Foley's pulling away. Foley leads by 2 car lengths. Popsicle sticks on the field. Foley's checking out. Grady fading back with a 27. Here comes McGrail through on the inside. They got to work around the slower car of Salisbury. Here comes Foley. Popsicle, white flag this time for George Foley.